Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Welcome back home to USA Global TV and Radio, where we provide world-class education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration to our global audience. I'm Dr. Jacalyn-Kerbeck, and it's my pleasure to be here today to host this show, The Mallorca Connection, starring Mr. Roland-Friedl. We're going to be discussing today the happiness circle, keys to a joyful and successful life. And while many people are not aware of how they can have that successful and happy life, Roland is going to provide that information. Let's welcome him. He's joining us from somewhere in Europe in his motorhome. Let's find out what he's been up to. Hi, Roland.
Hi, Dr. Jacalyn. Great to see you again. And hello to our audience. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining us. Hello, everyone.
Hello, hello. It's nice to have you with us today. I'm just going to flash something very quickly before we begin. We are on a mission to grow our subscribers. We've added 435 in the last 28 days. So if you go over to our YouTube channel, we actually have two. Go over to USA Global TV and Radio and subscribe and join our community. Roland, you have accomplished so much in your life and you've given so much. You've been on this platform for a number of years and you've done hundreds of videos. I know you have your own platform as well, where you're helping people share their voice. You're a coach, a speaker, an author, a entrepreneur, someone who really helps men share their feelings, learn how to communicate. What is it about happiness that you wanted to discuss here on this show today? I know it's a big topic, but it's an important one, especially with what's going on in the world and with the elections going on and people being at opposite ends of thought processes and so much judgment and people providing solutions when they weren't asked. So happiness is really an important emotion for us to feel and to work on. Tell us more.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Yeah, man, happiness it's a huge topic, to be honest. There are many books written about happiness. There are many videos and whatever else, many discussions. But happiness is something, I guess, something very personal. I guess we have a few stuff in common, which I want to discuss today. It's something very personal, but I learned that happiness in general is nothing 24/7. For me, happiness is also collecting, happy little moments. And I guess we had these discussions earlier, I guess 6-7 months ago when I was in Italy, that my life changed when I became very thankful. We did a conversation about the shortest prayer, just saying thank you. So just actually every morning and every evening, before when I wake up in the morning and when I go to bed, the last thing of the day, the first thing in the morning I do is just being thankful for small things. And this made my life much more happier because I was not focusing anymore on the things I don't have. Doesn't mean that you don't have to have goals, and a vision that you want to achieve something. And I don't miss it. But most people always think, if I have this, then I'm happy. If I have this, then I'm happy. So there was in the future, for me, is being happy and enjoy happiness in the present moment. That's for me. Yeah.
I agree with you. And I wasn't always like this, but now I really do keep my head where my feet are, and I'm not obsessed about what's going to happen in the future. And I have other people I know that, well, what about this? Well, what about that? I don't know. I really don't know. All I know is right now I'm doing the things I need to do right now. But that's a mindset, I believe, that you really have to have tools to be able to achieve and maintain on a daily basis? What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, being happy is a choice. You know, we know each other more than 3 years now, and you know that when I had some challenges. People stole my stuff. I had accidents, but it doesn't bother me longer than, I don't know, sometimes 5 minutes, sometimes half an hour, sometimes half a day. But I'm not sad or angry anymore because I decide, no, I'm going to be happy. There's a reason why it is. Yeah? There's a reason why it is. And maybe the universe wants to give me a sign, and I didn't listen to, let's say, less painful signs. I didn't listen to the universe. I didn't listen to my soul. So the universe gave me a harder hit. Yeah. That's my learning. But yeah, it's happiness is a choice. Yeah, you can always be unhappy. You know, you can be the richest guy on the globe and be unhappy because you don't have this, you don't have that. It's a question of choice. And what I learned when I spent weeks and sometimes months with indigenous, they have less than us. They don't have most of. Actually, when I looked 40 years ago, you know, when I was 40 years ago in the Amazon or in Africa, another country, and they didn't have a smartphone, they didn't have access to TV and stuff like that. They've been very happy people, always smiling, always a smile on the face, no depression, not taking any pharmaceuticals, you know, because they have mental issues, and they all have been happy. And on a daily basis. And they always told me, tomorrow, they always said to me, Roland, tomorrow the sun is rising again, it's another day. So why worry? Why worry?
So true. You know, Roland, yesterday, just in alignment with what you were sharing, I got some news that I was no longer needed. It's something I was doing. And I reached out, and I wasn't going to do it anyway, but to have someone tell me they didn't want me anymore, that's a whole other story. And I actually felt kind of sad. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to go for a walk and I'm going to think this through. And so usually 32 minutes into my walk, I don't want to say that I'm no longer here, but I'm sort of not here. I don't know, going somewhere else, and all these creative ideas come to me. And I thought to myself, well, that's time back that I can use for something else. And so by the time I got back from my walk, which was an hour and a half, I had 4 ideas of things that I was going to do, and I put them into place, and I thought, wow, I feel really happy. So when I look at my happiness barometer, what I talked about before, I thought, I'm actually glad that happened because I wasn't going to do it anyway. But
Yeah.
now I'm forced to find something else, and I'm much happier. So.
Yeah. I can absolutely relate to that. Absolutely. That it happened to me too. You know, I wasn't happy with something I was doing, and I was always thinking how to get out of this, but I don't know why I didn't make the decision. And then they kicked me out. To be honest, I was pissed off a little bit. You know, my ego was a little bit hurt. But then I said, yeah, cool. I didn't like it anyway. So yeah, they made the decision for me. Yeah.
Isn't it funny though? We don't like doing something, but for whatever reason, we keep doing it, and it's not bringing us happiness. And then someone says, no, you're not going to do that anymore. We're taking that opportunity or that job or that whatever it is away from you. Just like, oh my gosh, thank you. But we had the power to do it all along. What is it that keeps us stagnant and doing something or with someone that's not bringing us joy?
Well, because we live so in our outer world, not in the inner world. We determine ourselves by our performance, by the things that we made, by the things we received, we perceived, by the things we can buy, we can enjoy, instead of looking inside. That's the reason for that. And I always, when I do men's work, my question is, who are you? And I mean, not what's your job, not what is your performance, not what's your achievements. Who are you? Giving away your job, giving away your house, giving away your car, giving away your career, giving away your money. What's left? And hopefully there's something left. And I think that this was my learning years ago. And you remember, I guess it was almost 1.5 years ago when we had a show. I guess I don't remember exactly, like 3 hours ago or 2 hours before, somebody stole my favorite Rolex, the first one I bought. And I was a little bit pissed off. I was pissed off that it happened to me. But to be honest, I was in a transforming process, being less material, going more inwards. And I said, okay, I was keeping back a little bit. I didn't want to leave the material world too much. And the universe said, okay, let's take your Rolex. Let's take your status symbol. You don't need it anymore. I said, okay, cool. Thank you. I got a learning. Yeah. Keep going. Be happy, enjoying the trip.
I saw you literally right after that happened, and when you told me, I was like, I can't believe it. Are you going to the police? Like, how can you do this show? Are you okay? And you're, yeah, I'm perfectly fine. And I thought maybe subsequent to that, you would tell me, well, I had a meltdown, or no, you were totally fine. You took it as an opportunity to learn and grow.
Yeah, I mean, it's 1.5 years now. I'm still healthy. I'm still alive. I still have good friends. I'm still traveling. So with or without Rolex.
And maybe for some reason we don't know, that other person needed that Rolex more than you.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Feeding the families by selling it or whatever.
Right. Exactly. So we're talking about happiness today for people who are just joining us, and we're talking about the happiness circle. Is there something, a visual that really relates to a circle with happiness?
Yeah, I want to bring something up because what my learning was, to be honest, when I was in my 20s, I started working actually when I was in school, and I made my first million when I was 21, and I was very focused on material things, to be honest, because I came from a lower middle class. So for me, it was important to achieve something, to have a better lifestyle than my parents, to travel, to have a nice car. My parents had not a house. We have been in a flat, so I wanted my own house. I wanted on a seaside. So I was very motivated to change my life. I was motivated to work hard for that. So I was very into material things. So I was focusing on my lifestyle. Okay, I have a better lifestyle. I was focusing on my career. I was focusing on my income. And I forgot about more important things to focus on that. And when I realized, when I saw the first, because the happiness circle, I didn't invent it. It's by Dr. Sven Goebel, a guy in Switzerland, and I saw it years ago. I said, "Oh my gosh!" It was, for me, it was a game changer, an eye opener. So I want to share this because I use it as a tool for coaching clients when they come to me. And sometimes they come to me and said, yeah, I want to change something, but I don't know what it is, but I'm not happy. So they're successful CEOs in a company or running a business or whatever. They come to me and said, I don't know, business is okay. I have a family, I have a house, I have this and that, but I don't know. So that's why I use this tool to make an analyze of the status quo. It's just a tool to analyze the status quo, and then afterwards the coaching starts. So, and I guess it's a very helpful tool. Yeah. Okay. So it's called the happiness circle, and this happiness circle has two major parts: the blue one above and the yellow one below, and then it's divided each one in three chapters. So let's start with the blue ones. The blue one is like finances and career and lifestyle. This is the so-called, I call them the rubber balls. What I do mean by rubber balls is when they fall down, they don't break, they bounce back. What I mean by this is when your career breaks down, when your lifestyle breaks down because you don't have the income, you lose your job or whatever, your finances are not good, you can always do a restart, double or rise, and then you just restart, maybe different job, different business, or a different strategy in your business or job, whatever. So I go in a little bit in detail later. And on the yellow ones are the so-called crystal balls, meaning when they fall down, they break. And maybe you can fix them, but it's very, very difficult. And so we have the rubber balls and the crystal balls. And what I also want to share with you is, from my understanding, with this many years of experience in life, is that the crystal balls, the yellow ones, are they things that are given to us by nature, and a natural thing. It's natural to be healthy. It's not normal to be unhealthy. It's normal to be healthy, okay? It's normal to have good relationships, to be in a tribe, to be part of a family. This is normal. It was normal all the years ago. And it's also normal to work on your personal development. And I want to speak a little bit about personal development later too, because there are some misunderstandings what is a personal development. So these are, for me, the natural things given to us as human beings. But we forgot about them because we are more focused on this material world, especially in the Western Hemisphere, because we are so performance driven to have good finances, to have a good career, to have a good lifestyle. And we'll forget about the natural things. And that's why we are disconnected. That's why most people are not healthy. So we have the so-called rubber balls, and we have the so-called crystal balls. Yeah. So what I do when you see the circle, it says in the middle, in the center, it says 0, and it goes from 0 to 10. So what I do in the beginning with my clients is I say, okay, look at your finances from 0, 10 is absolutely top. Where do you see yourself on finances? Where do you see yourself, your career, your lifestyle, your relationship, your health, your personal development? Sometimes we have to clarify the terms, because most people don't understand the word relationship. So what do you mean by relationship, or what do you mean by personal development and health and so on? So we clarify the terms, and then they find out, okay, where it is. And the desired outcome is that it's round, and it doesn't matter if everything is on 10 or not. I give an example. When your finances, let's say on 10, your career is on 10, your lifestyle is on 10, your personal development is on 7, your health is on 6, and relationship is maybe on 10, then the wheel is not round. So it's a bumpy, let's say it's a bumpy road, because the wheel is not round. So of course the goal is to be on 10. For most people, not realistic. But just to get a reasonable feeling about it, I said, okay, yeah, here's good, here's absolutely top. When everything is top, but one is not on the same size, it's a bumpy road. That's what it is.
It's really fascinating. I love the visual, so we can actually imagine ourselves doing the work, picking the score. So the question I have for you about the rubber balls at the top, when your career is flying high, one would think that the finances are in alignment, possibly, and then you have a different quality of life. But does that mean that the blue are always going to be the same? They're always going to be 10, or they'll all be 8, or they'll all be 5?
No, sometimes you can have a breakdown. Maybe your company is crashing, or you're losing your job, then your career's down, your finances may be down. Yeah, and maybe you can afford the daily payment for your Porsche or whatever. Yeah, so, and your lifestyle goes maybe down. But to be honest, most people are so scared about losing there. And what my learning is, I was down 2 times. We had this story, and I said, okay, let's do it again, and working hard 2 years, and then I can buy another Porsche or whatever it is, or a new house. So why that's not an issue. But it's more important to look at on the crystal balls. It's more important. But the crystal balls, are not the balls that you show in public. That's the point. But that's what I learned.
Also, though, just about that, I just want to go there for a minute.
Yeah.
You could technically have build up the finances over your career, but what you're currently doing in your career is not bringing you joy, but yet you've invested well. And at the same point, you could be at the height of your career, absolutely loving what you're doing. Maybe you're doing volunteer work, or you're doing something that really brings you joy, but the money associated with it is not at the highest level.
Absolutely. When you love what you're doing, but you cannot pay your rent, you have an issue too. Of course.
Right.
Of course.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So all of these spokes in the wheel obviously are very important. So you have people select from 1 to 10 where they are in each of those quadrants. And then what do you do with the information after that?
So once they pick it up, they choose it, and then I said, okay, and now combine it. Take a pen and then combine it. Is it round? Yes or no? Or is it bumpy? Or is it a bumpy wheel? Yeah. And then then I say, I be quiet. And then I'm waiting what they're saying. And so people look at it. Some people can't believe it. And then I said, oh my God, I now understand it. Okay, can you help me? What should I do? I never say anything. I just say, okay, choose wisely, be honest, don't lie to yourself. I don't care what you're writing down, because it's your life, not mine. Be honest to yourself. Yeah, we don't have to show it in public. Yeah, honest, and then combine it, and then have a look at it. What do you think? And it's really an eye opener. And it was for me 2 years, 30 years ago. Yeah, it was an eye opener.
It is an eye opener. So a question I have for you that maybe some of our viewers are thinking of as well is, for example, let's use health. I feel like I'm very healthy, but yet I have ulcerative colitis for 34 years. But in my mind, I think I'm doing really well. So like I would score my health a 10 or a 9, but that doesn't mean that the doctor might say that. So how do you know? Do you go by what you feel?
Well, the point, yeah, absolutely. It's about how it's not about what the doctor says, it's about what you feel. And let's say health, when I say physical health, maybe you have an issue, but if you can compensate it by, I don't know, eating healthy, working out properly, maybe supplementing, doing some treatments, you can compensate it. Absolutely, absolutely. I said, okay, yeah, sometimes it's a little bit painful, sometimes it's a little bit annoying, but it's okay for me. Yeah, why not? Yeah, absolutely. But it's not only physical; it's also mental health. Mental health is also very, very important. Yeah, very, very important.
Absolutely. And you
Yeah.
know, Roland, something that I could actually see taking place is someone does this exercise and then they share the results with their spouse or significant other. And then the other person says, well, that's not true. You should be this, or you should be here, or that should be. And then the person gets confused. So this is a one-on-one exercise that you really take to heart, as opposed to going and sharing with others and asking their opinion. Well, what do you think? Do you think I'm a 10 when it comes to my career?
Well, what I say to my clients, I mean, if you want to share it with most of my clients are males one. If you want to share it with your wife, it's up to you. But it's more about, but at the end, it's more about yourself. Yeah. And it's just a status. It's just a status analysis. Maybe in 2 months is different, or in 4 months, or in a year. Yeah. It can always change. It's just status. And when something is broken, it just gives you feedback. It just gives you a feedback. Where are your gaps? It's only an analyzing where you forget. It's not a good or bad. It just gives you feedback where you should focus, that your life is going more round, that you're more happy. That's it's not about good or bad. It just gives you feedback. Where are your gaps? And have an honest look and work on that. That's the thing. And my experience is, I give you an example. There's always a correlation, when you mess up in relationships, lifestyle isn't fun, because you're enjoying all the benefits by yourself. You're by yourself. You don't have families, friends, or partner, whatever. Yeah, whatever. So when you mess up your relationships, lifestyle is not fun. I think it's impossible to make a career when you're not healthy. Or it's much more effort. It's much more painful. It's much more effort. So there's a correlation between career and health. That's why there's always an opposite. And there's a correlation between your finances, your income, and your personal development. And I wanna speak a little bit about what I mentioned earlier about what do I mean by a relationship and personal development. We spoke about health. It's physical health and it's mental health, of course. When we talk about relationship, I mean all relationship. First of all, the relationship to yourself. Do you love and accept yourself? That's one thing. Secondly, how the relationship to your family, to your partner, if you have your kids, grandkids, but also to your business partners and friends, in relationship in general. Yeah? And personal development. And this is a very important thing for me, because when I was in my 20s, I was very focused on career, making money, lifestyle. As I said, I want to get out of this where I came from. I misunderstood personal development. What I mean by this, I realized it years later, because I spent a lot of money and time and effort in reading books and listening to tapes. There were not CDs or no internet, listening to tapes and spending money on workshops. And I was working, not really did personal development. I was working on the machine Roland, meaning being more successful in sales, being more efficient in my work, being more effective in my leadership. This is not what I mean by personal development. This is improving your skills, but it has nothing to do with personal development. Because when I talk to managers and I say, what about personal development? They always tell me, yeah, I joined a seminar there, joined a seminar there. But at the end, what they're doing is just they are tuning the machine, and we're not a machine. Yeah. So we're trying to be more efficient, more effective, more successful. That's not what I'm talking about. Personal development is about doing your shadow work, knowing yourself, maybe healing your traumas, learn to communicate, becoming an elevated listener, for example. By the way, there's a good chance with Dr. Jacalyn to join her. I joined it, I guess, 2 years ago, something like that, I don't remember. To join this amazing course, you can learn a lot about your listening skills. What is absolutely key in communication. So you learn, it's about learning about communication, learning about healing your traumas, um, learning about empathy, and many things. That's what I mean by personal development. Again, so I don't mean tuning the machine to be more efficient and more effective. Okay, that's what I mean by personal development. Because you can be the most efficient, the most effective machine if you're not working on your traumas. Maybe you have some addictions to compensate this. Maybe you're drinking too much, you're eating too much, you're looking too much porn, you're working too much, you exercise too much because your trauma hasn't been healed, or whatever it is. Yeah, the little girl, the little boy. So this is what I mean by personal development. Yeah, to have a real look who I am, what I said at the beginning, who I am without all my performance, without my achievements, without my mergers. What is left? What is left? And am I willing to work on myself? Yeah.
Roland, that is fascinating. And I've just had some insights about myself based on this conversation. So thank you for sharing that. So once the person goes through this work with you here on this wheel, and they realize that the wheel is not round, it's not smooth, it's going to be a bumpy ride, what's the next step to working with them for you as your coaching?
Yeah, as I said, I make this break, I pause, I'm silent, and then I'm waiting for my client to realize, take a breath, and then something is coming from my client, and then they're always coming, can you help me? And I said, okay, my question is, where do you want to start? So I want to really be sure that if they're absolutely clear where the pain is, where the gap is, because are they still going on the blue side, or they realize, okay, maybe you should work on the crystal balls. I'm waiting for them. Yeah, my question is, where do you want to start? Where do you want to focus? Well, what do you think is the most critical thing to start with? And then we start a conversation. And then I'm asking, okay, when I say, okay, I want to work on my relationship, okay, and then we have some questions. Maybe you can I can put on the other one. Yes, I can do that. So for each one, it's just a few questions. I use some of them, but to be honest, I go much deeper. So I have some questions for the finances. I have some questions for the career. I have some questions for the lifestyle. I have some questions for the relationship, and some questions for the health, and some questions for personally growth. That's a few, but to be honest, I go much deeper with my clients. This is just a kind of structure, and then I go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper.
High level. It's really insightful. We do have someone who's reaching out. I'm from Cambodia. Dudu, thank you for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Hi, Dodo.
So Roland, for somebody who's really interested in happiness and they want to do the work, I think that's important, right? That first you realize there is work involved. You're not providing any magic wands or drink this and your life is going to get better, eat this. So tell us a little bit more about that process as we come to the end of the show. Somebody wants to hire you to do this type of work. Is this a one and done? Is this an ongoing thing? How do you work with your clients?
It's an ongoing thing. With most of my clients, we do it online, so you can do it. You can do it face to face, of course, but you can. Most clients do it online. It's always about mostly it's about an hour, and it's an ongoing process. It's depending how deep is the gap, how many gaps do we have, how serious is it. It's different. So as I said, we use it as an analyze tool. That's the first thing. Then I ask my clients, where do you want to start? And then we start there, and then we find out, okay, why does he or she mess up relationships? Why does he or she mess up their health? Maybe there's a trauma besides them. Maybe there's a limiting belief system, whatever it is. So it's a process. What I'm doing is asking many questions and helping and supporting my client to find the right way. I'm not a solution giver, because I know that everything is inside, but it's just a lot of stuff around because stress, because of what happened in the past, because of socialization, because of the education system. So I just help my customers to bring light into the foggy thing they don't see anymore. They are not focused anymore for any reasons. And then it's an ongoing process. And sometimes we have 5 to 10 sessions, something is more. It's very individual. It's very individual. And my clients always get a homework. So we do always an hour or something a little bit longer, and then they get homework and working on that. And then we come back and what's the progress? They can call me in between if they are stuck, or maybe because that there's a nice song by an Austrian singer that says 2 steps forward, 1 step back. As long as you're 2 steps forwards and 1 step back, you're still always one forward. So because they're always traps, you always can fall back, and yeah, it's very important that the clients are not alone, that they don't feel guilty or ashamed when they fail, or they do something wrong or whatever. It's bringing away. It's just acknowledging, okay, I did it wrong. I step back. I fall back in my old behaving. It's okay. Let's go to the start again, and we can always restart. As I said in the beginning, the next day the sun is rising again, and there's a next chance. Yeah.
And I think also the valuable point is that you have the insight to know where you are today, and you can make a decision. If the wheel is bumpy and it's not all rounds, are you willing to work on your relationships? Are you willing to work on yourself first? Are you willing to look at what you're eating and what you're drinking and how you're sleeping? And if so, that is part of this personal development process, to really be open and honest with yourself, and then work with someone like you to find that happiness and joy.
Absolutely. And the point is, I can speak from my own experience. I was broken too. I had a good lifestyle. I came from a lower middle class, and I was up, then I was broken up. I know this roller coaster. I know I also got divorced. I also had problems in my relationships, and luckily, not really health issues. And I was working on my personal development. I did my shadow work. I did my trauma. I had not a very good childhood and stuff like that. So I have a lot of. I'm not talking from what I was reading in books or heard in a seminar. It's my own experience. So that's why I can absolutely help people who are willing to change. And I know it's a process, and it's not about fixing it. It's not about fixing it immediately. It's a process. And to be honest, it's never ending up to become a better version of yourself. And again, it's not about tuning the machine. It's about becoming a happy human being.
I am really moved by what you shared today, Roland. Thank you very much. We're at the end of our program right now, but how can people reach out to you? And I know you're so kind all the time. You say they don't have to have a specific reason. If they just want to talk to another man, or they want to share what's going on in their life, you're open and available. So I'm going to spotlight you and put up your contact information. What would you like to leave people with about how you can help them and how they can reach you?
Yeah, thank you. Yes, as you said, Dr. Mention, you don't have to have an issue or challenge to contact me. I know that's, to be honest, from my experience, especially with men's work, I know when you just can talk to somebody and somebody's listening, the healing process already starts. It's very healing. I know it from my own experience. Somebody is just listening without judging you, without giving you advice, just listening. That's a good start. But anyway, so you're more than welcome to connect with me. I guess it's all about caring and sharing, and making this planet a better place for all human beings and animals for us. And if you want to connect with me, or maybe if you need a coaching or not, that's not the most important thing. The best way is to connect with me is send me an email, because I'm always traveling. I live in my motorhome. I travel around Europe, and I work online. So the best way is send me an email, and my email address is office@ my name, Roland-Friedl. I spell it for you. It's ROLANDFRIEDL.com. Roland-Friedl. Office@roland-friedl.com. That's the best way. And then we find a way that fits for both of us, who's convenient, how we communicate via, I don't know, video conference, Zoom, WhatsApp, or whatever. So you're more than welcome. Don't hesitate. I mean, I know sometimes we feel a little bit ashamed, especially when we're men, that we're asking for help. But I can tell you from my own experience, I was the same. But it's good to ask, and it's good just to have somebody to listen and just talk and trust, and be in a heartful, trustful environment, and just talk, and then we see where we end up. You're more than welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Roland. That was extremely helpful. And I'm really grateful that you were able to take the time with your busy schedule and all of your travels to be here today. So thank you for that. And I look forward to seeing you again, hopefully next week, if you're available.
Yeah, actually, I think next week I will be in Denmark. Yeah, I'll find a spot there. I think I've never been to Denmark, but I think it's flat, not very hilly, so it shouldn't be an issue to find a spot with internet.
All right. Well, we'll look forward to it. Thank you again. Safe travels to you.
I thank you. It was an honor and a pleasure to join. Thank you so much for this opportunity. All the best for you, Dr. Jacalyn, and all the best for our audience. Thanks for joining, and please don't forget to subscribe at USA Global TV and Radio and on YouTube. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye, Roland. Please do reach out to Roland. I know him personally. He's a great guy and he brings so much value. And as he mentioned, he really does want to hear from you. So if you're watching the show, we have his contact information. I'll put it up again one more time. And reach out, office@roland-friedl.com. You can also find him on LinkedIn at Roland-Friedl, and of course his website, roland-friedl.com. All right. I'll ask again, just for those of you who have just joined us, could you kindly go over to our YouTube channel? Just go to YouTube and put in USA Global TV and subscribe. We have probably 46 different shows a week now, and we'd love to have you with us on this journey as we go for 100,000 subscribers. And the reason being is because our team works so hard, like Roland, the content he just put together. We want as many people around the world to be able to see this content as possible. So please help us help you we provide world-class education. All you have to do is subscribe. Thank you again. All right, we're going to close out now. Our next show is coming up, and it's the Listening Mentor TV show. And I will be joined by the star of our show, and her name is Caroline Heward. She's known as the Harley Street stress expert, and she helps people bust their stress. Today, we'll be talking about election time and how elections and how we vote, that can impact our relationships. We'll find out more later. We'll see you later on our next show. Bye.
Hello, I'm children's author Diane Floyd Bain, and I am co-host for several of the USA Global TV and radio shows. I joined because of the purpose of the USA Global TV and radio. They provide content for the viewers and listeners, an opportunity for people around the world to have their own show or even be a guest on an existing show. We truly believe in helping others get their positive message out to the world. We also have the opportunity for the listeners. You can watch on several platforms, and on YouTube, you can ask questions and even give a comment. We absolutely love it. I love being part of the USA Global TV and radio because I love positive messages, and who doesn't? And we need more of that in the world. We are a family, and we hope you will join us and become part of the family too.
USA Global TV and Radio proudly presents our partner and sponsor, Mr. Philip Sykes and the British School of Excellence, building confidence, changing lives. And now, proudly presenting the Polished Professional.
On a transformative journey with the British School of Excellence's comprehensive suite of masterclasses, crafted to elevate your professional and personal life. 8 outstanding modules will elevate you to the next level. Module 1, Exploring Life's Purpose, delves into the depths of self-discovery, guiding you to chart your unique path to fulfillment and success. Module 2, Mastering Professional Presence and Confidence. This masterclass is a deep dive into the art of self-assurance and commanding presence, which is essential for standing out in today's competitive landscape. Module 3, Learn the Secrets of Visual Impact, how to curate a personal style that amplifies your professional brand. Module 4, Mastering Professional Etiquette and Communication Excellence, navigating the nuances of corporate interaction with grace and tact. Module 5, Elegance in Eloquence. We impart powerful techniques to captivate and persuade any audience with your oratory skills. Module 6, Unlock the potential of your emotional intelligence, EQ, and harness the ability to connect, empathize, and lead with emotional savvy. Module 7, Mastering DISC, building a gateway to understanding behavioral styles, fostering better personal and professional relationships. Module 8, Mastery in Dining Etiquette, building your confidence to perfect the subtleties of dining with finesse, enhancing your social savviness at any table. Step into the Polished Professional program where poise, elegance, and excellence aren't just taught, they're instilled for life. Join us to redefine your potential and polish your professional edge.
To learn more, go to thebritishschoolofexcellence.com. The British School of Excellence are investors in people. Let us invest in you. This program has been brought to you in part by Zane Carson Carruth, etiquette and protocol expert, international award-winning author, television show host, and philanthropist. Thank you to Zane, our official diamond sponsor for USA Global TV and Radio in partnership with E360 TV. Zane is the author of The World's First Tooth Fairy Ever, as well as many other children's books. She's also the television host of Elegance, Polished Demeanor, and Posh Living, seen on USA Global TV and Radio.
Hi, my name is Zane Carson Carruth, and I'm the author of this book, The World's First Tooth Fairy Ever.
Reading is magic. Studies have shown that reading to your children lays the foundation for greater success in life. Reading helps develop language and vocabulary skills. It helps improve memory, and it encourages curiosity and inspires creativity. The benefits are immeasurable, and as a parent, you'll benefit too. In only 10 or 15 minutes a day, you'll be creating more memories and a bonding experience that will last for years to come. So take time to read to your children. Read them books about things that engage and interest them. Tales of fairies and magic fascinate children, and as everyone knows, the Tooth Fairy is at the top of the list. If your child loves magic, wands, adventure, and what child doesn't, you'll love reading them books from the trademarked series The World's First Tooth Fairy Ever. Follow along as Abella, the world's first tooth fairy, accidentally starts the tooth fairy tradition. Learn the tricks of being a professional tooth fairy in the book Abella Starts a Tooth Fairy School. Your child's imagination will soar as you read the adventures of Abella and her magic wand. These wonderful books are available at worldsfirsttoothfairy.com and at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Walmart.
To learn more about Zane, contact her through her website, zanecarruth.com, ZANECARRUTH.com. Order Zane's books and merchandise. Contact her about being a keynote speaker at your next event.